Welcome everyone to the My Turn Racing Truck Series here at Gateway, where we are here on the second week currently in qualifying as well. So while we have the chance as of right now, and also another chance to quickly sort out technical issues, there it is. After Iowa last week, these are the point standings as of then. So currently in first place in points before we head into this race is Nigel De Jong, who surprisingly enough actually is not here. He did not yet show up, so maybe could be a last second entry, but as of right now he is not here as of yet. I do not see him on the entry list, as if I recall correctly that he also won 7 races in a row prior to this. I'm not seeing him on the entry list, but nonetheless, Bryce Saunders is in second place. Of course, as you can see, the points are by 1 point less. So, as you can see, it's 43 and then minus 1 point for each position. Saunders, I am not seeing him either. So, not a lot of people like Gateway, apparently. Although I am not surprised for me, especially that this track is very tricky. Also interesting. Josh Wong in third place in points. Ian Cornish fourth. And there is Linus Brostrom in 5th place. Somebody correct me if I am incorrect on that pronunciation, please. Aside from that, Aaron, he's over here on the entry list. He's not actually. So Aaron Mospero, Carl Hides, I believe that's Hides, John Jarrett, Doug Pickering, and Bryce Hardwick is 6th through 10th. A few of your drivers in the top 10 in points, not exactly here, so it's quite interesting to see a few of them skip Gateway. Daniel Beckett, Lee Wells, Michael Jones, Simon Marshall, and Nicholas James Gerard, 11th through 15th. Simon Thorns, Stuart Pomfrey, Ben Summers, Mark Redford, and Carl Jacolette, I believe is how you pronounce it, Jacolette. And then the final 2 in the point standings, or final 3 I should say, are Asara Streeter, Jamie Sawyer, and Robert Noble Eddy. So some drivers here, some drivers not here, and under 10 minutes of qualifying. I believe the other 5 are under for the drivers meeting. So 14 drivers have already qualified. Mike Watts is one of those drivers that is making his qualifying run as of right now. I'm going to check that real quick. Hence Games should be maybe having a few problems for some drivers, but nonetheless, well, there goes Mike's first lap time, unfortunately. I'm seeing this in practice for the final few minutes, is that some people are getting a little bit more loose entering the corners. That's something that everyone's going to have to look out for. You have to be very careful on entry. So with the 17, it's number 17 of Mike Watts. Hopefully he can get his qualifying time in. I don't believe this thing will count this time around. It would be a, well, no, that actually did count 15th place, a 37.294. But majority of these lap times are under about 34 seconds. So the turns 3 and 4 for the 17 of Mike Watts is going to finish up his qualifying run, which makes 15 drivers qualify. 2 more have yet to do that very thing, cross the line, and we will move up to 13th place on the grid. So a little bit of an improvement in that lap time. and two drivers that have not yet qualified are both Lance Simon and Mike Morris. So, once again, just as a reminder, you're watching the My Turn Racing Truck Series Week 2. Of course, Simon and Morris are both here. They just have chosen to not take a qualifying time as of right now. So it's going to be quite interesting. I believe some drivers are actually taking about 1 or 2 extra laps in qualifying, making sure that everything is a-okay, double checking how to run the track, where to enter, where to brake, where to correctly apply the throttle. It's going to be a very fun 4 minutes remaining, so going to show your point standings once again, and unfortunately maybe not, as technical issues have gotten us once again. Something we could actually most likely sort out. So we're going to head to this graphic for a while. Of course, Gateway Motor Speedway, 1.5 miles, and it doesn't really seem like it from a top-down view, essentially. As of course, well, it does seem to be it looks to be larger than, well, obviously your average ovals, but especially Daytona in terms of the track length. But more interestingly enough, it is actually 1.5 miles. So all the way over here in 1.25 miles. So that's essentially 2 kilometers. It's over in Madison, Illinois. Pit road speed for this race, and of course the pacing speed as well, will be 55 miles an hour for the pace car, 45 miles an hour on the pit road, and of course everyone will have to use the pit access road entering and exiting pit road, unless you're the pace car. Then in that case you can just do whatever you want. And it looks like we actually have 70 laps scheduled, so not sure if that's more of a mistake on the race director or it's just the actual length that we're going. So instead of 75 laps, we are going 5 less laps for instead 70. So 2 minutes remain in qualifying, so we will be right back with your starting grid.
So, you want to race in NASCAR. The road starts here. Introducing the eNASCAR Ignite Series powered by iRacing. This is the gateway for all aspiring 13 to 16-year-olds. Starting June 20th, ignite your dreams of one day racing in the top tiers of NASCAR. Go to www.iracing.com/ignite for full details.
Racing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Back live here at Gateway, and we are just about to get underway for the 75 lap event here. Your main, our footage will be coming up in a few moments. Just going to be triple checking a couple more things, one of those being restarting our overlay software, so bear with us just for a quick couple of moments. As hopefully we have gotten it to work out. Usually for overlays, seems easy. You think you have it, and then you don't. So more than likely we have it by now. So your starting grid for this race. Starting on the front row is the number 27 of Josh Wong. You can see him on the right-hand side of your screen. And the orange and black looks like a Chevy Silverado. Linus Broström will be starting to his outside in the number 71 in second place. Doug Pickering starts in the third place position. Fourth place will be Stuart Pomfrey. Starting fifth is Mark Redford. Carl Hayes starts in the sixth place position. John Jarrett starts in seventh. Rice Hardwick starts 8th. Ninth will be Simon Marshall, and Jamie Sawyer rounds out the top 10. 11th through 22nd is Ben Summers and Lee Wells, 11th and 12th. 13th and 14th will be Mike Watts and Robert Noble Eddy. 15th, running out the top 15, is Asara Streeter. And then the drivers that didn't take a lap time will be Lance Simon in 16th and 17th, Mike Morris. I believe that is actually it. No idea why I thought 22nd. So 70 laps in this race, and the pace car is just about getting ready to pull off of essentially the front straightaway. So once again, to show it, your point standings: Nigel De Jong, Saunders, Wong, Cornish, Broström, Maspero, Hayes, Jarrett, Pickering, and Hardwick. Beckett, Wells, Jones, Marshall, James Gerard, Thorns, Pomfrey, Summers, Redford, Jacqueline, Streeter, Sawyer, and Noble Eddy. Going to test this real quick. Nope, couldn't fix that. Alright then, well, it's quite unfortunate, but nonetheless, number 27 of Josh Wong will be bringing this field to the green flag. So heading down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. We've seen the pace car make that hard left-hand turn in the opening after the pit access road exit. Entry in this case. Off goes the pace car, out of turn number 4 come the drivers, and 27 is already down and away, so we are underway. Whoa, heavy damage to the back of the cars at 136 at Hardwick. Unfortunately, he has heavy damage on the back bumper. No doubt somebody got a little too heat. Well, maybe just bring out some real estate, but side by side now for the 7th place position. It's at 15 and 46. Simon Marshall and James Sawyer with those two drivers. Trying to go that. Meanwhile, Josh Wong in the first place and already pulled a gap. Broström in the second, Redford third, Pomfrey fourth, Jarrett in the 59. He's out the top 5. Simon Marshall trying to hold off. Number 15 is not going to work, but he got way loose after number 2, sorry. So now Lee Wells makes his way to the outside and all the way up to that 8th place position, side by side though for 10th place. 77 on Summers trying to get by Mike Watts. Here comes the 72, making it 3 wide, a stagger through on the front straightaway. 77 Summers is coming back now. That leaves Streeter in the 72, way loose on the inside and through the grass. Landscaper's not going to be too happy about that. Saves it though. Unfortunately, the caution is out. Not sure what for. Hello, heavy damage again. The 136 and the 04 of Lance Simon also involved. Goodness gracious, not sure what had happened there, so we'll be taking a look at that in just a few moments, as soon as possible. Start with the 136. The 136 had a very, very wild start to this race. Somebody turned one really loose. Spins it out, tries to save it, back up onto the track. Heavy front end damage. Oh, man. And there's Lance Simon from out of nowhere with essentially no place to go. Going to ride on board that 04 of Lance Simon, because my goodness, that was from almost quite literally out of nowhere. It looked like Simon thought he was going to roll down a little bit more, but unfortunately that just was not the case. So right now your current leader is the 72 of Josh Long. First caution so far. So we're on 66 laps to go, and in this case a slightly old but still relatively new update that iRacing has made is the bloom effect. So as you can see, the headlights and the very top line of the pace car are very bright. So it's very great to see that. You can even see the caution lights here. You can see the caution lights all the way down in turn 3 ever so slightly. So just to the entry of turn 3. I think that's pretty cool though. So Josh Wong with a great start. Unfortunately, Hardwick on the relatively not so great end of this race as of right now. Of course, everyone's still slowly making their way around the racetrack. Pace car across the line. Lights will go off this time by, which means we will be doubled up right now, I believe, unless we do single follow restarts. It's likely to go Nope, scratch that double follow. Sorry about that. I was just taking a while to get doubled up, but I always like to be cautious. Makes sense. So that 71's going to head up to the outside, and of course a little bit of a message on the back of the 71, just in case some people still have not realized that yet. It says, "Don't eat Tide Pods." Hi Redford, how are you doing? I think it's into the camera shot just a little bit. As you can see, it says, "Don't eat Tide Pods," and if you have done that, what are you doing? Of course, safety is the most important thing, so don't do it, and if people are still doing that, tell them not to do it. Other than that, pace car pulls off. 64 laps to go. 27 than Josh Wong, already down and away. And we are back under green. Sorry, 27 is a great start and relatively single foul, although very, very close racing. Staggered through wide. Almost through wide for a second. It was almost staggered, so 59 of John Jarrett there. I was almost getting past on the outside, but Jamie Sawyer working in the outside lane of that number 16 of Robert Nobiletti. And Jarrett's looking to the inside at 59, and then there's Carl Hiles in the number 96 trying to make his way somewhere at the very least. Looks like he will be following that 59 into turn number 1 into a low groove. The run goes to the 46, sideways in turns 3 and 4. for safety, though. Jamie Sawyer does a great job. And out turn number 3, 36 also gets involved ever so slightly. Second caution. It's a great points by Stuart Pomfrey. Unfortunately for Jamie Sawyer, caution is out once again. Going to, well, we saw what happened, but of course we're just going to recap that because, my goodness, unfortunately for Lance Simon and Bryce Hardwick, they have decided to take it behind the wall and call it a night. So looking at the number 4 and 6. So comes the 4, loose it, great points by 36, and happy contact on the inside. Strange how the caution was thrown since it was at the back of the field. And of course, precautions are very, very important. Not wanting to get anyone else caught up in this wreck either. So we will be running on board with the number 36 of Pomfrey. 46. Oh, hello, goodness gracious. About what, 2-3 feet between them? Somewhere around there. And looks like pit road is going to get very busy, as many drivers have decided to make their way into pit road. See the lights from the pace car all the way over here, but this is pretty crucial. A crucial point of any race is that you have to be very careful when entering and exiting your pit stall. You have to time it as perfect as possible. Of course, the majority, fun fact is that majority of these racers here tonight are from UK and Ireland, Club UK and Ireland. And side by side for second off pit road, Josh Wong barely beat the 96. For second place off pit road. Three drivers, however, did stay out, and of course that is Mike Watts, Doug Pickering, and Lee Wells. And of course you can see that they're not taking the access road, which, in a sense, someone else is on the access road. Is that Jarrett? No, that is, I believe, Redford. Nope. Not sure who that is, actually. That's 96. So, pace car lights are still active. Let's see if possibly get somebody in the, possibly not this caution, but hopefully the next caution though. So our, I believe, second caution of the night. And top three still staying out. With Watts, Doug Pickering, and Lee Wells. 2018 and pit road already. It's going to be Linus Brostrom. Not sure what his plan and strategy is, but whatever it is, it's definitely going to be, it definitely appears to be conserve or stay away. And nope, that's actually a fake bit. Okay, that was like somebody else faked out too. That was John Jarrett, I believe. Yep, and he got through the grass. I think everyone lost a landscapers tonight. Not a good idea. Pace car lights off this time around. And we will be going green with 57 laps to go. Not on fresh tires. Watch out for. It's always the wheel spin on the restarts, and of course Josh Wong has the outside lane in the 47. Trying to clean off and warm up those tires are both the 17 and the 18 and the 17. Once again here, heading through turns 3 and 457 laps to go. And we cross the line. This car is off. The field look as Mike wants green flag. He's already on the throttle now. And it looks like with the edge across the line, it's going to be number 2 of Doug Pickering. There's 27 Josh Long on the outside, 18 of Wells. Surprisingly for the moment, hangs on. The 17 is going to drop back and stay in front of the number 27. Contacting back, somebody gets turned. Simon Marshall heavy into the inside wall. No caution though, that was a 36 that made contact as well. And there goes a 31 of Redford into the inside as well. Heavy contact. It's another driver that's falling victim and more contact. It's a 16 of Steve O'Brien and a 17 of Watts. Everyone's going off track now. Some Talladega curves, except it's at a gateway. Oh hell no, goodness gracious, Lee Wells almost completely took out the 71 by mistake. Caution is finally out. May have been the 72. Let's give you a long caution to review. So we're going to review about 3 incidents and then your actual cause of the caution. So first up will be the 36 and the 15. Coming off turn number 2. Marshall trying to move to the inside, but just wasn't any room. Just going to slow on this right here. Let's see, what is that going to with the 17? Actually, not 31. Side, 16 is already there, gets turned. And just up ahead from Montclair. Oh, Mike Watts got loose in the middle corner, and there's Redford. So I mentioned that at the end of the 16. And then the actual cause of the caution. The moment has yet to be discovered. Not sure if that would be the cause of caution. I believe it was actually done by race control. And no, it wasn't. It was actually the cause of the caution. Unfortunately, just not sure what that was. So a lot of drivers in pit road. First off, looks like it was the 15 possibly. Couldn't tell what that car number was, unfortunately. Yes, it was the first one. Simon Marshall, but unfortunately it's 2 laps down. Essentially 1 lap. So Josh Wong back up to first, second place, Lee Wells. Third is the number 2 of Pickering Rostrom in pit road as of about 5 seconds from now, so that would be Myers in 4th place, John Jarrett in 4th. There's 52 laps to go. Unfortunately, the first 25 have been, in a way, caution-filled, but also excitement because it's something that these drivers will have to get used to. The track is very, as you can still as you have to get in the way worn in. So it will be taking a while for everyone to get used to this racetrack. Josh Wong, however, he's done an amazing job so far, keeping out in front through pit strategies and essentially knowing when to use, essentially knowing when to actually his best laps. Again, if I can just squeeze right, unfortunately, it doesn't say his best lap is a 33.977. The second fastest lap is set on Carl Highs with a 34.020. So a possible challenge would be that number 96. Unfortunately, though, that's something that we'll have to see once we get back in the ring. It's going to be quite interesting to see what that 96 is going to do on the restart, considering that he did set his own fastest lap. Will tune off this time around, so 50 laps to go. Number 18 trying to load his tires as well. So a bit of trivia here is that your top 5 is Chevy Silverado, we got Chevy, Toyota, and then Chevy. 2 Toyotas, 3 Chevys. First, fourth, and fifth, we got Chevrolets. Second, fourth, and Toyota Tundras. So 2 drivers out of this race, and that's Bryce Harper and Lance Simon after a very heavy collision in turn number 1. But that still leaves 15 drivers left on the racetrack, 2 of which are at least 1 or more laps down. Somebody's on the pit road. It's a 16, not sure what happened to him. Nonetheless, 27 is down in the road. Green flag is back out. We are back underway. Side by side for second place as Pickering tries to make his way by for second place. Number 2 trying to get into position here. John Jarrett on the outside trying to make his way around that 96 of Highs. So far it appears to have worked and they managed to complete the pass. Turn number 2. So quickly trying to single file aside from this down for 7th position. Humphrey in the first 6 trying to get race 3 there in number 8. Trying to get in position. Summers almost onto the back bumper of James Hillary. That huge contact. It's a 72 Oh no, heavy contact with Simon Marshall. And the 71 of Broström as well. My goodness. They've all 3, at least 2 of these drivers were your chase contenders. Or not chase contenders, I should say, in a decent position in the point standings. You'll be double checking that. This 72 of Streeter, well, I actually don't have any information somehow. But nonetheless, Broström was in the 5th place position heading into this race, unfortunately. So off to number 2. Oh man, 70% nowhere to go. So whilst everyone trying to run the normal line, that just didn't work out, unfortunately. And then here comes the 15 of Marshall. Oh man. Just very, very unfortunate. And of course, something essentially how this incident had started. We'll actually a racing line here at this track. So essentially a walkthrough of how this incident started in a few moments. So that's something for this track in particular is that, as you can see, here's the 71, and unfortunately just went up all the way about loose representation, went up to here and pretty much bounced off the wall. And then the 71 of Broström, I'm trying to run the normal racing line, which is essentially around here, and then you just come up off the corner right next to the outside wall. That's about loose representation. And unfortunately, they had made contact, and it's very heavy, and unfortunately, it was heavy enough to cause the 71 to of course, tires still spinning on 71, and there's Marshall, and he almost would have made it, I believe, if that outside wall wasn't there, if it was just about a few feet farther away. I'm about to hear where that opening is. So unfortunately, many drivers out of this race, pace car lights are still on. We will be showing you what time, at least what the new update to iRacing has pretty much done is that obviously, as you can see from here, tire marks are pretty straightforward, and well, straightforward if you will, because well, in a way not literally straightforward, but from these tire marks you can see, I believe from this accident, so that where they went all the way along here, and you can just see the tire marks all along that loose representation over there. So it's very great to see that things like this in iRacing are some good things. So of course off the corner about right here or so is where that contact happened, and unfortunately, and more interestingly enough, is that all these accidents have seemed to have happened coming out of turn number 2 essentially. So that's pretty interesting, to be honest. Pace car lights are out, and of course, as you can see, something along here, the inside wall is pretty much about this far. From the actual racing surface. Will that be causing a problem? Most likely. Most likely. So it's going to be interesting. 12 drivers will eventually make less than 5 drivers. And that was the majority of the back straightaway. The last 27 done away perfect on these lead spots. Josh Long. Green is back out. No Pickering being defensive, quite literally. A little bit of a block to the 18 of Wells. Sliding all the way up is going to be John Jarrett to the outside for third place, coming off the corner. Steve Austin in the White House with preferred line and this corner. For trying to defend that third place position. Look at the outside lane being worked by that 59 of Jarrett. My goodness, I've never seen anyone make a pass in the outside lane. There's 3 cars really too close. Goodness gracious, Carl Heitz almost made contact with 18, and most likely made contact with 59. That would be a chain reaction. Comes to Pomfrey once again, trying to essentially just ride this race out as best as possible. And almost able to contact that first car on the racetrack, trying to avoid making contact. style that we have on this raceway is pretty much between the 18 and the 96 right now. And oh, heavy into the outside wall. That's a little bit too much momentum coming off the corner. It's going to be heavy right front damage. Hopefully we'll get a shot at it. See what's barely picked up around there. Maybe not. It's very difficult to assert with moving objects. It's about right there. Doesn't look like it would affect his arrow. In fact, it looks like it also has a little bit more damage. On the left front as well, right on this line. Not going to help out for the highs any more away. And he lets most definitely more than likely what he gets in terms of arrow. Anyway, so he's still continuing forward. He's still in 5th place. Hopefully he can top 5 out of this race, but Josh Wong right now, an amazing run so far. Essentially, we may be seeing the winner of this race. I emphasize that we're very strong. And there's the reason why. Caution is out for a second time. 17 again, Mike Watts, and the 16. Robert Noble Eddy, he's stuck on the inside wall actually. I think he's actually literally stuck on the inside wall, unfortunately, so we're going to be seeing what happens here. And both of them got sideways. 17 is slid up onto the racetrack. That was across the caution. 16, oh, heavy tires. You can get a separate angle of that, but unfortunately got stuck there, and there's Mike Watts. No doubt many drivers in pit road, essentially after this small bit of a run that we had, I'm going to take an onboard listen to the number 17. Essentially what it could have been was that he was braking a bit too hard, and that causes the tires to lose traction as well in the process, and next thing you know, you're up and around and facing the incredibly wrong direction, the direction that you don't want to be facing. So many drivers out of pit road, the battle for looks like 5th place on 4th place on pit road came to be very close, and it looks like it came to the 18 of Lee Wells ever so slightly. Josh Wong is still out front, dominating this race as much as possible and as quick as possible. Surprisingly for a track that's 1.25 miles, it looks like a long track like I've mentioned earlier, but this race has essentially been underway for about 40, maybe 35 minutes or so. Roughly about 30 minutes. So we're going to take a look at the pace car and lights are still on, so we'll be seeing if we can get an interview in with one of these drivers. I'd say George Wong, since he is 3rd place in points and he's 1st place in this race at the moment, so I'll take I'm going to see if he is available. Josh Wong, do you have a copy on us?
I do. Hello.
Well, hi. So you've been pretty much ever since the start of this race, you've been in control ever since, setting the pace as much as possible. You're third place in points heading into this race, and right now you seem to have this track pretty. You seem to have this track pretty much down to the point where you're not really getting loose. You're just actually pulling away. I've seen many drivers not being able to, unfortunately, counter being able to get loose in the corners. So how are you managing to counteract that?
I'm finding it's helping a lot with the amount of cautions we've got. We've had a lot. I haven't had to run about 7 or 8 laps on one set so far, so that's certainly helping.
Most definitely seems like that. So since it is 1 lap to 3, we're going to go ahead and let you go. But thanks for your time and this quick interview.
Cheers.
That was the 27 of Josh Long. Just like you mentioned, the cautions have been helping him out. So one set of tires, like he mentioned, and taking a look at his, well, actually, never mind. So yeah, that one set of tires actually is essentially helping him out a lot. Unfortunately, not many drivers being able to counteract this, but hopefully it does seem like you're going to slowly start to get used to it. Because unfortunately, usually by the end of the race, I can say from the driver's standpoint, it's very disappointing, and it's very disappointing to start to get the hang of something just at the end of the race. And you're wondering, well, why didn't I do this before? So 12 drivers remain, and 16 drivers out. Josh Long in control of the field. He's already down, and the green flag is back up. Side by side for third place once again. John Jarrett trying to get by 18 of Lee Wells, and almost makes contact, both of them trying to get slightly right. He's trying to stay up and reach the top 5. Carl Hires is all right from damage. He's managing to slowly make his way back up. He's currently trying to make his way into the 4th place position. Moment side by side. Turns 3 and 4 almost a goal contact. Doug Pickering slowly starting to close in on the center leader of Josh Long, and sliding up in the middle of 1-2. Goodness gracious, close. Very devastating still battling back there as Lee Wells falls back to 5th. Here comes Stuart Pomfrey right now. And he looks to the inside of the back shredder. He's trying to lead them, not going to work. He decides to lay back and just let that battle ensue in front of him. And the teammate not throwing to his clutch as here he comes to the inside. Looks to the inside, doesn't make a move as of yet. Aboard the 36. And here downshift. It's quite an interesting package. For a fact that if either trying to conserve the tires or the tires are worn, you're downshifting in the tires. Interesting. Left side tires ever so slightly on that rumble strip. And here comes the another crossover 1 lap later. Got to the inside quarter panel. Lee Wells trying to get this position as much as possible using the lower line. And unfortunately you will not get that last one around hot count comparisons at 2 tenths off the pace of 36. Lee Wells. There's a comparison you can see right here, 34.7 versus 44.9. Now going compared to Carl Hines and Stuart Pomfrey. And looks like roughly 4 tenths faster. It's going to be Pomfrey, so he may be up in the top 3. He may be concerned with the entire race essentially. Right moment to make that move. John Jarrett rounding out with 3. Pickering in 2nd. Josh Long up in 1st. Carl Hines trying to go on the offensive while John Jarrett tries to play defense for this 3rd place position. Under defense for 29 laps to go out of 75 total. so it didn't really help him out too much. Trying to follow that number 59 fuel equivalent 2/10 faster last time around. It's Carl Hines compared to John Jarrett. He's trying to make his way around, but unfortunately can't find him. That's nice to get out of his number. The right front damage is essentially aero damage in the process of this track, so Cars are not really that bad, essentially. It's a little bit flat. It's a little bit like New Hampshire, a little bit flat, but still has a fair amount of banking. Carl Hines is finally gotten up to at least the back bumper of John Jarrett. I just has to get around. They dive to the inside. He's tackled many times here at Gateway, and it's not going to work out. He slides up, loses a little bit of traction. And he's going to lose a lot of traction now. He spins off turn number 2 into the infield. Keeps it off the inside wall, however. You have to be careful not to get on the racetrack, though. Oh, never mind. Well, there's no way that could have been the caution. That's kind of disappointing. Caution's out once again, nonetheless. I don't even have that in replay for that, do we? I'd say we do. I'd say we do that anyway. That's a bit sketchy in terms of caution material. And that was iRacing that through the caution as well. 96 gets to inside turn number 2, loses traction into the infield. Great job by locking down. The tires do not move at all. So it's going back now. It's going to go back around and get back for traction, but apparently that's somehow in the pit exit lane. Very far off from the actual racing line. Managed to cause a collision. So nothing really on Carl's part for that causing the caution. Of course, he probably would. No doubt he was probably thinking, as many people were probably thinking, well, why doesn't he just go through the infield? Well, he's probably going to spin out again if he tries to get playing with the throttle, too, a little bit. Somehow that was enough to cause the caution, so nonetheless we are under caution and everyone is in pit road. First off looks like it's going to be the 18 of Lee Wells off pit road. Second off will be the Doug Pickering. Third off Josh Wong. Ponfrey fourth off. Fifth off John Jarrett. And sixth is 65 Nate Norris. So what may be Josh Long took 3 tires on the other 2 drivers, so 3 tires. He's made a lot of missteps here, must be in 6 by a fair amount of this field. Around pace car lights will most likely shut off the next time around. So if you direct your attention to the pace car, essentially this is the racing line that these drivers are taking. Just through these seams that are marked on the racetrack, where it's a little bit lower. Kind of like where that number 2 is running right now. Essentially, the pace cars representing the racing line that these drivers take. It's a loose representation, but it is a representation nonetheless. So, 22 laps to go. When we take the green flag next time around, 17 drivers have started this race. 12 remaining. And one of them is a lap down. The other one decide by our live score. So it's going to be and that's Mark Bradford. And he's going to barely make it out, possibly in the lead lap. And he will. So Bradford still in the lead lap. And Robert Nova Eddie, I believe, is at least one lap down. So at 22 more laps to go. Surprisingly for this main gateway, this is a very short race, essentially. So it looks like the 18 and the 2, Lee Wells and Doug Pickering, they've had something to say about that lead for the 27. And if you can't beat them on the racetrack, you need to beat them in pit road, then hope to beat them on the racetrack. So it's something that we'll have to find out is if these two can hold off that number 27, if one can hold off the other. If two of them can hold each other up and possibly give the race lead to the number 27, 18 of Lee Wells, already trying to accelerate early on, eager to get this race back underway. The pace car pulls off, Lee Wells holding up the field a little bit longer. Green flag is now out, and we are back under green. Everyone's very staggered right now. Heading down the front straightaway. Well, so much for that. It looks like Josh Long already made his way by up the second. And no, never mind. He's going to have a not so great entry line. He almost had, but getting by on the outside was that number 2 of Doug Pickering, side by side now. This will be the second place position. Carl Hides trying to get us one line. Green down for second at the very least, but it's going to be the 22nd. Josh decides to not make the move as of yet. And just very, very high into the corner. Not sure if he didn't take tires or if he only took 2 left sides. Most likely took 2 left sides. Diving into the corner again, trying to get to the inside. It's not going to work, but does get to the back bumper. 20 laps to go as he gets to the inside of Lee Wells. This is going to help the number 27 of Josh Wong down, however. The longer these two now side by side, the more this gives the 27 an opening, and it looks like he almost had it off the corner. That one chose to conservative route and chose to back up and wait for another opportunity like right here in turns 3 and 4. To the inside he goes. Almost missed contact, about a foot separated, then about 2 or 6 feet. So door contact. 27 long. No, he's actually going to go up into the corner. Lost his rhythm just ever so slightly. Trying to hold in, but he's got turns 3 and 4 perfect for himself. But turns 1 and 2 keeps sliding out. He's trying to get back to the lead again, diving into the corner. He makes it stick for the lead with 18 laps to go. The start-finish line. 70 laps to your gateway, the Monster Racing Truck Series, and at the line, it's number 27 with the lead. 18 laps to go. Trying to get that preferred lane once again, sliding out there was so slightly more than last time. And Jarrett under attack from the 96 of Carl Hides. His car's trying to look at their top 5 finish as of right now. And we will clear that number 59 off of turn number 4. Almost into the outside wall with John Jarrett. He's now slowly striding closing to its home stretch of the race, and Carl Hides is making moves as quick as possible. So fourth now, if he clears the number 36 and turn number 3 and 4. Well, he does. Gosh, that was quick. And he given time to finish that 7th. I think this 36, I think this 96 is on the roll right now. He started 6th after all, but as right now he's 3 positions up over from where it started. 15 laps to go next time around. It's 5 stints of 3. Highs have the momentum. He can just get to the top 3 for himself. He can secure that podium finish. Unfortunately, though, lap times have a different plan. As you can see, last time we did lap time comparison 4 points off. Number 96, Lee Wells across the line, 34.637. 34.628, 2 times slower. Carl Highs, but after the turns acting like it didn't even affect them. Could return to 3 and 4. That's how return differences. Essentially equal lap times between the 96 and 36, you know? Throughout all this, look at this gap that the concept has made once again. That very familiar gap. First to second. Almost quite literally a second off right now. 0.999 in turn number 1. Last across the score. And out for the corner, this time live down the back straight. It's still 0.9. It's finally crossed the 1-second barrier and turns 3 and 4. And this is going to be an interesting shootout because the 31 of Mark Redford has just run into some bad luck. Looks like many drivers have done this in the course out this race. Downshifted, and it's the traction of the tires. Almost saves it, and spins back up on the track. And back into the infield he goes, and where he was, that was the 177, the 77 actually, Ben Summers that caused that collision. It wasn't literally Ben Summers, it was the fact that Summers is coming around, and the decided to be thrown, so. Many drivers entering into pit road as of right now. This could be the last caution of the race, and essentially a very interesting shootout will be taking place. And faking out pit road is that number 36 of Stuart Pomfrey. He decides to stay out. To our pit lane camera, this is where many drivers have to be very, very careful entering pit road. When the pit stalled. Have to be careful to not overshoot. 27 of Josh Long was the leader. Pomfrey stayed out. And the pit stall smooth was the 2 and 27. Now see the 96 backing up. 27 also. Looks like he took 2 right side tires. Doug is going to take 4 tires. So the 96, 30, looks like the 2 man taking extra fuel possibly. Many different strategies going on here at once. Pomfrey stayed out for this lap. Looks like he will be heading into a pit road this time around. Of course, just as a reminder, once again, you're watching the Mountain Racing Truck Series. This is their second week number 2 here at Gateway for 70 laps, and instead of the 75 laps that were originally scheduled, but nonetheless, we are still making progress on this race. And of course, while we have the chance, even though we're essentially about 2 laps away from a green flag run, I'll be telling you about the pit access roads here. It's not in place. The new pit line rule for iRacing is not yet in place, but essentially is in its own way. And we will be showing you how in just a few moments. Provided the field is not double file, and it looks like they are actually. So we're going to check back in with our field, and pace car lights are still on, so we do have time. Essentially 1 more lap. So from here, See if we can get a good color to represent this. So as you can see, the field making their way by. Through here, obviously, you do have to use the pit access road, which is marked in blue. And the example by Stuart Pomfrey is that, of course, he also decided to make an alternate route, and instead of pitting, he decides to go off here, which is, of course, legal. The one thing you can't do for a pit road is come around and then go in this way, again, unless you're the pace car. So the way that Stuart Pomfrey took in yellow, that is legal. The way you can't do it, obviously, is through this portion marked in violet, and then the blue, of course, is using the pit access road. Same goes for the exit to pit road. You have to use the actual pit access road. So pace car lights are out. 9 laps are left. At least room for one more caution, if that does come into effect. Until we head back to the green. Just a few more moments to see if we can make it past the point of no return, which is about 5 laps to go. So from 5 laps to go onwards is when a caution comes out that is coming from the point of no return. Goes off 27. We'll make it for a little bit longer. He goes off of turn number 4. Side by side for second place between the number 2 and the 59 of Jared. Jared's trying to make his move at the last second. Not on. There goes Carl Hayes. A little bit loose in turns 1 and 2. That's going to force the team at the racetrack up to 6. Back to 6, I should say. He's going to go up for Mike Morris. He started in 17th. I think he'd come home with the top 5 after this race as of right now. Be a great night for Mills. Pickering trying to escape with number 27 after he shook John Garrett for 3rd. Look how close though Pickering is for his first place, trying to get on top of that bumper. 27 taking the defensive line. Lower into the inside goes Doug Pickering. This is for the lead, and no, nothing. It's a 20-second protects. Dive it down to the inside. It's going to dive to the inside. For 3rd place, it's going to Carl Hayes. This is going to dive past John Jarrett. 6 laps of this essentially is the iffy point of the race. Where if caution comes out, you don't know if the race will be green or not. Jarrett trying to look to the inside. Could get it done. Pickering putting all the pressure he can on that number 27. Using a higher entry this time around. Essentially, that looks like it wasn't too good of a run to take that time around, but he does have 5 more chances to do this. Joshua entering this race, as we mentioned earlier, he was in 3rd place in points. Doug Pickering, however, has absolutely nothing in his ball. This is actually his first start of the series. So Pickering, actually, no, correction, was 9th in points coming into this race. So, 2nd race with Joshua higher up in the point standing. So, last week at Iowa, 6 positions, Joshua had finished ahead of Doug Pickering. Pickering right now trying to finish ahead of Josh Wong, even if it is by 1 position. It's still for a win for both of the cars trying to their first win of this season. Looks like ever so slightly is going to be that number 2. time by, their lap times were essentially pretty much equal. Let's see what they are this time around. Giving a relatively size of 34.429. For Josh Wong, Doug Pickering, 34.728. For Josh Wong, essentially 3/10 faster at this point in the race. Pickering had it, and well, not anymore. Mike Watts has heavy damage. I don't care what you want, Chad, but my goodness. Mike Watts with heavy damage. I'm not sure what had happened to him, but whatever it was very heavy contact. It's pretty much the races right now. So moving to the inside again by Jamie Sawyer. And 46 and gets loose with traction and heavy to the outside wall. Well, there's no, well, yeah, there it is at 31. Goodness gracious. Mark Redford barely makes it by. So home free for the rest of this race is that number 27, Josh Wong, Doug Pickering. Will be finishing second, and third place will be Carl Heiss. After finding through right front damage, no less, no doubt, definitely destroying his arrow ever so slightly. So this time by will be the white flag, although very anticlimactic. Still the final lap of this race, and you can see how much smoke there is from that number 17. So the final lap here at Gateway essentially is under caution. And still getting the way from us at number 36, so will be the last lap of the lap. Of course, it's still unofficial that the 27 is won, both because, well, obviously the checker flag has not yet fallen, and of course, as well, the fact that post-race penalties could be taking place for any one of these drivers. So through turns 3 and 4 will be these drivers at a very anticlimactic 55 miles per hour. But nonetheless, this will still be giving the win to that number 27 of Doug Pickering. So as they come off the corner at the, again, very slow 55 miles an hour at the line this time around, it will be Doug Pickering finishing first, second. Sorry, Doug Pickering finishing second. Josh Wong finishes first. Doug Pickering second. Third place, Carl Heiss, and fourth. And then number 59 will be John Jarrett. As the fireworks go off, very beautiful indeed. Of Mike Watts making their way by across the start finish line. Congratulations to the 27 of Josh Wong for winning his first race of this season. In the back straightaway, I think the fireworks, or is that just me? Nice. He's slowly making his way through the back straightaway. Yeah, there they are. They're still behind the pace car. So given the fireworks time to run out, before he heads to the start-finish line to go ahead and celebrate. Here comes off turn number 4. Number 27 of Josh Wong. We did interview him earlier, and he did mention and all these cautions helped him out. This one definitely helped him out the most. Oh, that was close. No, keep going. You can still go. You barely hit the wall. Oh, well, he's not going to, unfortunately. So, aside from that, though, hopefully, this will work. No, it will not, unfortunately, so we'll have to work through this small error. But nonetheless, Josh Wong will be the winner here at Gateway, so he finishes in the first place position. Congratulations once again to him. He's done an amazing job hanging on with those tires, and Doug Pickering, he almost had it. Unfortunately, Josh Wong just had the momentum and the more of a longer run car, it seems. More of a longer run strategy and portion of racing. Carl Heitz makes his way up to third place after starting what I believe was the sixth place position. John Jarrett rounds out fourth place, and Mike Morris finishes in the top 5. Lee Wells finishes in 6th, 7th, Jamie Sawyer. Mark Redford finishes 8th, 9th, Ben Summers, and Stuart Pomfrey finishes in the top 10 position. With the rest of your field, Robert Noble Eddy finishes one down, so does Mike Watts. Linus Brostrom and Sarah Streeter unfortunately involved in an incident, same with Simon Marshall, and Rice Hardwick and Lance Simon, unfortunately the first two drivers to unfortunately get taken out, as they just had nowhere to go, and well, unfortunately they had gotten caught up in each other's accidents. So going to be double checking to see what was available. So we will be right back with your top 3 interviews in just a few moments.
iRacing, you wanted the
And back live here at Gateway with the second place finisher, Doug Pickering. Well, you almost managed to get up into first place. You challenged that number at 27 for just a couple of laps, but unfortunately you just couldn't catch up to him.
No, he was much quicker. He was on 2 tires, which gave me a little bit to keep with him for 3 or 4 laps. Just couldn't quite get my nose inside of him going down the back stretch, but good driver. So nice to be battling with him.
Yeah, you've done an amazing job managing to hang on for second place, also finishing where your car number is. So No doubt that definitely helped you out just ever so slightly. You were ninth place heading into this race as of, well, pretty much before this race, but no doubt this is definitely going to give you a little bit of a morale booster and definitely a boost in the point standings.
Oh, certainly, yeah, definitely. You know, I do really like this series, so it's yeah, going forward, it's a good result. It's puts it up there, doesn't it?
And hopefully we will, hopefully you will be seen just barely breaking the top 5 in the points after this race. But before we go ahead and let you go, anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to for finishing second place tonight?
Yeah, can I thank yourself for broadcasting it, John Jarrett for putting on the league, Sim Marketing Solutions, Hazy Signs and Designs, who does the paint skins on my car, and Speed Zone for the guys who help with the setups, even though this is a fixed league.
Well, it's always good to give them a shout out anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're going to go ahead and let you go. Congratulations on finishing in second.
Thanks very much, Gary.
Yeah, no problem. And of course, we will have the race winner, Josh Wong, in the number 27, just managed to, well, like you mentioned, essentially, goodness, what was it that you mentioned? Cautions, right. Those did help you out, and definitely those closing laps, they definitely helped you out a lot, no doubt.
Absolutely. Yeah, thrilled. This is my first win in this series, so I'm super happy with that. I was under a lot of pressure from Doug Pickering at the end there because I'd put on 2 tyres instead of 4 just to protect the lead on the last stop. And I think he'd put on 4. It made it really tight.
Well, you did manage to just barely hold on with that 2-tire strategy, and goodness gracious, how did you manage to do that, though? Because everybody was, like I mentioned earlier, is that everyone was getting a little bit loose, and, well, next thing you know, it's just cautions, precautions, as per usual.
Yeah, there's a lot more cautions than what I was expecting there to be. I think where I was trying to save some tyres was going into 3 a lot tighter and a lot slower on entry than most people, which did mean that I was a bit slow down the main straight, but I think in the long run it paid off.
Yeah, it definitely played off, and it definitely helped you to get the win here tonight. So, of course, any thoughts heading into next week? As unfortunately, I'm not really sure where you guys are heading next week, but nonetheless, next week is going to be quite interesting for you to keep up that momentum that you've set here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure actually where we're going next week either, to be honest. But I noticed that because there was a couple of guys who I think are taking drop weeks this week, that's kind of moved me up into the top of the standings for now. But yeah, if I can just keep up the momentum, keep getting those kind of top 4, top 5s if I can. It's all about consistency in this league.
Well, hopefully you can keep up that consistency next week. So before we let you go, is there anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to for your race win here tonight?
I'll give a shout out for my wife for putting up with me disappearing off for a couple of hours to go racing. This is for you, Ellie.
It's always great to thank family members, especially if they just let you do this. So we're going to go ahead. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and let you go and celebrate that win. Congratulations once again.
Thanks, Gary. Cheers.
So that was the race winner, Josh Wong. And unfortunately, I don't believe Carl is... Nope. Oh my goodness, he actually was available this entire time. Carl Heights, do you have a copy?
Hello.
Apologies, I completely skipped over you by mistake. I didn't see your actual name, so...
That's okay, no problem.
Yeah, apologies for that, but nonetheless, you did manage to pull off a third place finish. So from starting, I believe, 6th in this race as well. So you got some right front damage in the middle of the race. Didn't really help you out too much, but next thing you know, you're up in the lead or up in the top 3 at the end of the race.
Yeah. Just bit of gamemanship starting from the pit lane. So just playing it safe for the first few laps, let everyone sort themselves out a bit, and then have a bit of race and a bit of fun later on. I just got my nose cut off slightly, come off 3 or 4 rather, and got a little bit of front end damage, but it wasn't really affecting me. It was more the fact that I was trying not to downshift in 1 and 2, and everybody else was, and I was trying to work out why I was so slow off the corner. And then the last run, I figured it out and sort of got a bit of speed going and was able to keep up with Doug and that. So it's all good.
Yeah, you've done a great job managing to keep up with everybody after that, especially since this is Gateway, and of course it has its own opposite course. It's essentially to what it looks like. It looks like it's a larger version of Darlington, except it's not just across the top line of the racetrack. So, aside from that, though, you did manage to do an amazing job by pulling off that top 3 finish, like you mentioned, by avoiding, by finally figuring out when to downshift properly in turns 1 and 2. So,
it was more the fact that I was downshifting in qualifying and practice all of the time, and I was trying to not do it in the race to save the tyres in case we got a long run, because downshifting will kill your tyres sort of consistently. So it was more the case of trying to keep up without doing it and let them burn the tyres off so that it was an easy pass later on. So and also to point out, I spun myself out off turn 2 and went to the back twice. So I came back through twice from the back as well. So that was quite a some hectic driving to get back up to the front again, put it that way.
Yeah, you've done an amazing job nonetheless, though, especially for a track like this. So, before I let you go, is there anyone that you'd like to give a shout-out to for finishing 3rd here?
Just Doug for the help and tips when we're helping each other out, and myself for my own sign writing company, or skin painting company that I do. I do iRacing design, so Hazy Signs on Facebook, look me up, and grab yourself a paint scheme.
Well, we are going to go ahead and let you go. Congratulations once again on the top 3 finish after falling back through the field twice.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you for the broadcast as well.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, thanks.
So that was Carl Hayes, who unfortunately I did not see his name correctly in Discord. I saw it and then I somehow glanced over it. So nonetheless, though, that will pretty much do it here tonight at Gateway after a very, very exciting race after 70 laps here. So we're going to go ahead and sign off. Of course, do not forget that the next 3 races here on the Racing Line Broadcast Network this Tuesday, Wednesday, and then July 3rd next Tuesday are the next 3 races that we have. The Irwindale Sim Series will return on the 11th of July instead of the 4th, so it's the last 3 races up until we have about a week break, and then we will be back again in action. So, of course, don't forget to subscribe, and of course, can't believe I'm saying this, but hit that notification bell if you want to get notified, because apparently that is somehow now a thing instead of, that's just somehow a thing. So I believe there's also another setting where it says you can have it either occasionally or all the time. I suggest occasionally, or at least marking your calendars for these broadcasts if you are interested. So we thank you all for watching, and of course we hope that you have a good day, night, or whatever time it is over there. We hope you're having a good day, essentially, or a good night. But we will be seeing you on June 26th, this Tuesday at 8:40 p.m. Eastern. So thank you all for watching, and goodbye.